Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be is probably the most important and most fuck whatever. This is probably going to be the most important tier list for this god awful game that you'll ever need. Like, without a doubt, after watching this video, you're going to be enlightened. You are going to become a lot smarter. Your brain is literally going to grow the size of a mountain because, good golly, you need that enlightenment, baby. So, what's this tier list? Well, I'm doing something that no one has ever done before. It's a tier list that's this game, well, let's be honest, it deserves. I see YouTubers making these very uninspired, boring tier lists of who is the best killer in the game, who is the worst killer in the game, you know, just the average tier list in terms of viability. Then you got the tier list of who I could be in a fight, which, you know, don't get me started, those are boring as shit, no one cares. But then you see some interesting ones, and I don't often see interesting ones, but I'm going to bring something new to the table. And is going to be possibly the one tier list that you'll ever need. And once you've finished this video, you're going to be walking out thinking, God, I hope we never get a tier list for this game ever again, because this is the most important tier list for this game ever. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Diddy Freak Off tier list. But no more yapping. Let's jump straight to the point. Starting off, we're gonna go from the killers from who came out first, you know, all the way to the most recent killer that's released. You know, earliest to latest, you know, that shit. I know, it's more unpredictable that way. And doesn't have people just immediately jump into the conclusion I'm an idiot for ranking them. You get to hear my opinion and everything. So, you know, starting off, we got Trapper. So, you know, he's a very weird character. He's so awfully inconsistent. In one story, he'd be like idolizing his father. You know, he loves his father. But then in the other, he just thinks he's a bad person. You know, he hates his father. And I'm just thinking, gosh, behavior, make your fucking mind. What do you want to be? So, and I think that's going to reflect with what's happening here. So, you know, P. Diddy, you know, he's a very rich guy. Evan is also fairly rich. I think he's come in thinking like, you know, it's a celebration of rich people, very high class citizens, you know. And he'd probably want to go. You know, because you know who wouldn't want to who wouldn't want to hang out with P Diddy, you know? That's probably what he's thinking. So he's probably gonna go to the party, you know. He's gonna meet all these famous celebrities. He's gonna think he's among one of them. Or well, he probably think his father is among one of them too. But I don't know. But then 1 a.m. hits and it'll be the freak off, and he's probably gonna be thinking, "What the fuck is happening?" This could go either in two ways. It's either he thrives or he doesn't, and I think I think he's in the middle. Not because you know he'd do okay. I just think you know his character is so awfully inconsistent that I think this could go either way. It's either he thrives or he doesn't. This base lore, he basically just you know detonates a bomb that kills like a bunch of miners. But he's never actually bombed inside a miner, you know. Stop saying that shit. But see, I don't think he'd be a pedophile. Is the thing. So I think if he ever sees children at the Diddy party, he'd probably be like, "Fuck no." You know, he'd want to be with all the adults. You know, like Trapper just doesn't strike me as a pedophile. So but because of how uh, inconsistent his character is, I have to put him in B tier because I just don't know what to do. It's really hard. So it could go either way with him. Moving on, Rafe. Oh, Rafe, poor old Rafe. This guy. So I think Rafe would go in C tier. No, no, no. Take that back. D tier. D tier. And I'll tell you why. So if you've read the tomes, you'd know that one thing about his character is that he just doesn't care, right? You know, he literally, works for Azeroth for at his fucking car place, his junkyard, whatever. He does the job. Even though it is very obviously sketchy, he just does it anyway because he just doesn't give a shit. He just wants the job. Uh, he unknowingly gets he unknowingly murders a bunch of people trapped in the cars as well because of it, and he doesn't really notice it. He sees all the blood and everything, but he doesn't think of it, until he hears screams. And that's when he just starts taking action. So when you consider that, it's safe to assume how it would go down as far as him going to a Diddy party would go, because he probably just see, oh, it's a party. Why not? Let's go. Uh, he probably wouldn't care, or how he probably wouldn't even know about the freak offs. He'd probably just go. He'd probably stay around, have the drinks, probably get drugged. There's so much things that he should be aware of that he wouldn't be, and that's ultimately going to lead to him getting uh, absolutely butt raped. Um, there's just in that way there'll be nothing he will do. Diddy will just his life would be in Diddy's hands, and Diddy will do whatever he wants with him, and it's because of his ignorance. It's because of his ignorance is eventually is going to be the reason why he fails in this challenge. And before he won't even know what he's getting himself into before he knows it. So by the time it's 1 a.m., this man he's already gonna be drugged by then probably, and Diddy is probably gonna be doing some nasty shit to him in his unconscious mind. No, in his unconscious state. So never forget all the baby oil he probably be shoving inside of him, in his ass especially. It's just not good for Rafe, man. He's just screwed, both metaphorically and literally. So yeah. Next up, another D tier. Billy is an idiot. He probably doesn't even know what sex is. He probably doesn't even know what a party is, and he's knowing that he's lived his whole life being isolated in a brick, house by himself, alone. Yeah, he wouldn't know what sex is, so he does not know. He does not know what he's gonna be in for. He's just gonna be completely just cooked. Yeah, there's just nothing going for him. He's just gonna be walking into that Diddy party. He's gonna be clueless of what's happening. He may just start murdering everyone out of complete confusion. But if he does, but without his chainsaw or anything, he's just helpless. He's just gonna be drugged. He's gonna be losing that freak off right off the bat. So yeah, D tier. D tier because he's an idiot. But it's not entirely his fault, of course. But And if applying that logic to Billy, then I think the same could be said for Leatherface. So we put him like right next to each other. You know, I mean, he has like Leatherface is less like isolated. You know, he actually has a family that loves him, although he's completely like warped and messed up because of it. He's mentally retarded. I should be doing that, but yeah, I don't know what way to describe him. Mentally ill. There we go. So, the same thing that happens with Billy could be said for Leatherface too, I feel. I think Leatherface has got a bit more awareness than Billy, but he's still, fairly, stupid. So, he's just gonna be confused the whole time. He may start killing people, but, if we bring his weapons out him, and just going off of just him by himself, being clueless, not killing everybody, just assuming it's like one family party or something. Like, let's say for example the other Sawyers are there, like he's just gonna be like thinking it's just one fun thing, but then once the freak-offs happen, he's just gonna be so confused and terrified because Diddy is going to just like shove that cock right up his ass before putting the baby oil there. No, after he puts the baby oil in there too. Or he's just be drugged, all that shit, he's just, he's cooked too. So anyway, moving on. We got Nurse. I think she's D tier as well, actually. Because in her base thought, she's just kind of just a traumatized woman. She goes to a job she doesn't like being. She doesn't like working for. She's just going there. She has no choice. She gets deeply traumatized by all of it. What she experiences in those hospitals may be horrifying, but a Diddy party is just on another level, bruh. She's got nothing. She's gonna be freaking out. But yeah, there's like the tome law, but I think the less we talk about that, the better. So we just completely get rid of that out of the picture. But if we're going off of base law, I think she's just kind of this innocent woman. Diddy kind of takes advantage of those people. Took advantage of Bieber because of it. And eventually, she's just gonna, her mind is gonna be completely broken if it isn't already. So, I just imagine she'd be kind of, yeah, she's fucked. Okay. Anyway, that's all I have to say. It's very simple. I think you can kind of understand where you would go regarding a nurse. She's just helpless in that situation. Anyway, Michael Myers goes. See, I think he goes C tier. I don't think partying would be his thing. The moment he steps into that party, the first thought that comes to his mind would be, "I'm going to kill everyone." That's exactly what he will do. But that's not to say that Diddy has like a bunch of guards and just other higher ups of his party that could just like try and fight back against him, try to drug him, knock him unconscious. And I think Michael has been, I think that they did do that to Michael more once before, but I can't exactly remember. Without that, I think he would probably dominate the whole party. But if we're basing it off of how well they do at freak-offs, Michael wouldn't really do good because he just would not participate in any of it. He sees anyone on the freak-off, he would just kill everyone. He may slip all over some baby oil that's all across the mansion, the mansion, but. Whew, yeah. I think the only reason he'd be making it far is not because of. It's because he'd basically be going against the rules of a Diddy party, and highly cooked, but you know, just because he's just not abiding by what he's meant to be doing, he's just C tier. Yeah, I think C tier is fine. Hag, I think she's C tier as well. I feel. No. C D. I don't fucking know. This is actually kind of hard. I think either C or D. I think she could be seen that she's basically just a cannibal at this point. You know, she's full feral, and she's probably gonna try and eat everyone on the spot. But and she's also got those, you know, she's also got all those magic that gives her good luck and stuff. So that could, you know, hypothetically give her some motivation to take part in a freak off. But I don't know. I don't really see that happening. Um, Hagrid seems like kind of person who's just so far gone that she's just gonna, you know. You know what? I think if we're playing out logic at that point, I think I should just move Leatherface higher because you know his whole thing is just that he's just kill everyone spot, so C tier for him too. But you know, also he will eat people too. But I mean, he'd probably cook them first, because he's quite the chef. Anyway, um, yeah. I think if we're playing, I think if we're playing with the logic of all these three killers, I think it's kind of they're just gonna step into the Diddy party and kill everyone, and that's really all it's gonna be. So they're basically not abiding by the rules of a Diddy party. They're just gonna step in, be like, oh, there's people here, just kill them. So and I think going off of that, then C tier would also belong to people like Demogorgon. Well, Nemesis would be more interesting, actually. I'll get to him. Dredge, Singularity, Xenomorph, Unknown. Pyramid Head as well, I'll probably get to him too, because he'll be interesting to talk about. But if we're playing all that logic, all these four as well, it's just gonna be the same thing. They're gonna come in and just kill everyone. That's all it's gonna be. So, really, there's not really much you can talk about as far as all these killers. They're not gonna be helpless. Some of Diddy's heroes will try to fight back against them. I don't know. Depends if they have like firearms or something. But they've probably got like drugs to drug them with. But it's just gonna be all these guys. They're gonna step in and then they're just gonna try and murder everyone. And they're gonna fail. Yes, they're gonna fail as far as what the contest, what they're gonna fail in terms of how good a freak off they'll be. But they will win, and that's they don't have to worry about Diddy getting into their ass. So so that's why they're all C tier. It's just it's Anyway, Doctor, I say, yeah, Doctor, I think he will do fairly well in a freak off. In fact, I think he and Diddy would probably go hand in hand in that they'll probably do a lot of fun things together. I don't think Doctor's a pedophile though, so I think that puts him that kind of holds him back as far as the Diddy party goes, because But I think Doctor. I think he will play along. He'll be at the party. He'll have some fun. He'll have his fun. But I think when the freak offs happen, I think he will happily just do it. He'd probably do it with all the adults. Like a fine, upstanding citizen. So, but I think what keeps him from S tier or no is the fact that yeah, he will have fun at the party. But you know, he will try and have as much fun as possible. I think the issue, however, mostly lies into the fact that he's just probably gonna, get bored and just probably just become very ambitious in his science and all of his technology to the point where he's just gonna be he's gonna stop focusing on parties or freak-offs and just be like, nah, fuck you, I'm just gonna experiment on you. He's probably do that with Diddy, who knows. But, I think it's gonna only be a matter of time before he gets bored very quickly, because, doctors are very, he's a nerd. He's a very hard-working man, he just, like, he's very focused on, like, experiments and stuff. He's a very intelligent guy. And I think because of his intelligence alone, he'd do well at a Diddy party because he knows what he's getting himself into, and he knows how to dominate, and he knows how to dominate in social situations and things like that, and he would probably get his way because of it. But the thing keeps from ST is just I just don't see him last long in the sense that that he'd be drugged, knocked out, and raped. I just think that I just think he'd just get bored, So that puts him in A tier. A tier because he would do well, but it mostly comes down to his choices. Because eventually he's just I think I've already just gone over it. I think you get it at this point, Anyway, moving on. Huntress, she's like Leatherface, no bully. She's not very smart. All she really knows is hunting. And because she likes hunting, killing people, I think she just goes in like C tier. I think the only thing she's gonna do at the party is just get there and just kill people. Because, she's a huntress. However, I do think if when she sees children at the party, she's gonna probably want to kidnap them. Take them into her own domain and just, do her own twisted way of, taking care of them. She's obviously like very misguided. I don't think she intends to do anything bad to the kids. She just doesn't know better. But I don't see her getting all freaky. It just doesn't seem like something she knows, cares, or is even aware of. So, well, that's the same thing as knowing, I guess. But yeah, I think this is her thing is just hunting people. So I just don't see her wanting to take part in a freak off or anything, let alone be in the party altogether. So, anyway, now this one is gonna be very straightforward and obvious. We got Freddy. Oh boy, Freddy. S tier. S tier without a shadow of a doubt. He's gonna step into that party, and he's gonna have the time of his life. He's gonna see this kids there, and the first thing that comes to his mind is, fuck yeah. And he's gonna get real freaky. He gets freaky. This is the 2010 Freddy we're talking. Like, if this is like the OG Freddy, his thing is just gonna be, killing the kids after he's, Actually, no. If it was the OG Freddy, I think the same thing would. It would go down the same way. Just that, Freddy would end up killing him in the end. But the 2010 one, yeah, he's a pedophile. He likes kids, and Diddy likes kids too. So I think, in the film, he sexually assaults kids. He's a nasty person, and which is exactly why he's gonna do so well in a Diddy party. It's like this whole thing is just made for him. He will just dominate the moment he steps in. He will say absolutely yes to not only just being in the party, having fun, but then when the freak-offs come, that's where he thrives the most. He's gonna have so much fun, and he's gonna enjoy every second of it. That's why he's definitely ST. There's just no denying that one. I mean, there's the downside that he's a dream demon. He can only be in dreams, and no one will be sleeping during a freak off unless they're drugged and knocked out. But say hypothetically, this is Freddy in the real world. he would do. He would thrive. He would thrive in the Diddy party. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. So yeah. Next up is Amanda. See, she goes in B tier, I feel. She's a druggie, and I think that's mostly gonna be her main weakness there, you know? She's gonna step into that party, you know, she's gonna have fun. I think she'd probably be very focused on Diddy and seeing what he's up to, because I think she probably would plan, like, put him in some of the Jigsaw's traps and stuff. But you know, it mostly depends on how long she'll last there, because I think, you know, she's not like the people in C tier where she will just go straight in for the kill. She's more calculating than all these characters. So I think, you know, I think she will just take her time, you know. But again, you know, she's a druggie, and that's going to be her main downfall there, because the moment she takes those drugs to the Diddy party, which she probably will, let's be real, she's going to fall unconscious, and that's where she's vulnerable, you know. And Diddy just, you know, he loves to just, like, treat women like they're objects. So I think the moment he sees Amanda just lying down, passed out on the floor, he's immediately just gonna take advantage of her. And, you know, she's screwed. She's screwed. So, but, you know what? Now I think about it. Yeah, see, I don't know. On one hand, she's quite, you know, she's quite intelligent. But at the same time, it's like, you know, I think she'd get completely cooked. You know, if she lays off the drugs, I think she does eventually do in the Saw films. You know, she learns to appreciate her life, blah blah. But you know, I feel like she could hypothetically be like D tier, but I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, D tier. Now that I think about it, she's gonna go straight for the drugs and get herself knocked out. That's just the thing with her. So I mean, there's really nothing. She's just screwed right off the bat. Yeah. Anyway, Clown. I say. I say you do. I say you do pretty well. You know, he's quite a freaky guy. He owns like a porn VHS tape and everything. You know, no doubt he absolutely faps off that shit. So I think he would totally go to a Diddy party for the main intention of just going to the freak off specifically. Like, this guy is gonna he's gonna be just going there with the thought of, I can't wait to have sex. You know, he's probably gonna have a lot of fun there too. You know, he could be like essentially like the birthday clown of the Diddy party. But I don't know whether or not he would just, you know, whether or not, I mean, you know, he's right. Let's talk about his weaknesses, because I think those are important. Well, first of all, he's you know, I don't know if he's like exactly a pedophile. Is the thing. You know, it's not as clear as like people like Freddy, but who knows with what's his name, Clown. You know, but I think as well, you know, Clown is also kind of, you know, not in good shape whatsoever. So I think eventually this could be a moment where he's gonna get very hungry, and he might just stop with what he's doing and maybe just like trying to find a snack. I don't know. I can imagine that happening, but I don't know. Otherwise, I think he should do perfectly fine. You know, I'm sure he'd be so thrilled to be in the Freak Ops. But yeah, that's Clown. Spirit. Spirit, to me, seems like someone who would who Diddy would absolutely love to take advantage of, and that she'd be pretty much screwed. She'd probably like fight back, you know. The moment she realizes she's in the middle of a freak off, you know. Diddy tries to take advantage of her. She'll try and fight him, but that depends if she's awake. See, the Diddler has his ways with women. Is the issue, and it mostly comes down to whether or not she is drugged already or not. And I don't know. I think she'd probably just be at the party, to have fun. And then once 1 a.m. hits, and she's gonna be just really confusing. What the hell is going on? And that's her downfall. I think she just seems too innocent for something like this. She's kind of like Nurse, ignoring obviously the tone, but she's kind of too innocent to be in a freak off thinking, oh, fucking hell, she just doesn't fit in, And Diddy, no doubt, would try and have his way over her. So, I mean, D tier. And D tier also goes for these motherfuckers, Legion. They are literally just Justin Biebers. They are literally just Justin Biebers, and they're gonna be screwed immediately. It's like they're like that parallel opposite of Freddy when it comes to this. Like, we know how much Diddy likes to take advantage of people like Frank, Julie, Susie, and Joey. So they're just gonna get Biebered, plain and simple. And the teens from like the 90s. I think Diddy was like fairly popular around that time. So I think someone like Joey would probably be like, holy shit, P. Diddy, just go, guys. And because he is like canonically like into like hip hop and shit. But if you're writing like he's some stereotypical black man, it's quite sad. Um, I think it's gonna be Joey's fault that this is all gonna happen. They're gonna be at the Diddy party, thinking, oh my god, P. Diddy. And then eventually 1 a.m.'s gonna hit, and they're just gonna be they're either gonna be drugged, or no, they're just all gonna be drugged. Like, and there's nothing they're gonna do about it. They're just gonna be knocked out, and then Diddy's gonna do some nasty things to him, because that's what he did. That's clearly what he did to Bieber, 100%, 1000%. So yeah, that basically screwed. Plague as well is also going in D tier. She's religious, I don't think she'd have sex at all, unless it's forced on her, which she obviously will not consent to. And yeah, she's just she's D tier just because I just don't see her participating in Diddy party. I don't even think she'd be interested in it either. Even if hypothetically she goes to one, like I don't know, she's just dragged into it or something. I don't think she just want to be. I don't think she'd do well anyway. Like, she's a sick woman in the sense that, like, she's struck with an illness. She's already basically dying. She just end up indirectly killing everyone there. So, but even then, I just don't see her going to a Diddy party. She just doesn't strike me as the kind of person I would. So, she's here, knowing that she would lose, but because she just not show up at all. So yeah, Ghostface. I'd say like B tier probably. I don't know. I guess he could be A tier, but I mean, you could say Ghostface would also be C tier too, because I think his main interest is killing people. But assuming that Diddy parties take place at like night, I think he'd be moved down to like C tier for that. But Ghostface, he's more aware than a lot of these other characters. I think he'd love to party, have fun, hang out with a celebrity, probably with the intention of killing them in the end and taking a photo of their corpse. But That's really what it's just gonna boil down to. He's gonna be at the party. It's either it mostly comes down to his choices. It's either he kills him, and that puts him in C tier, or he just feels like taking a break for the day and just having some fun. That's just Jid Olsen. But whether or not he will do fine as a freak-off, well, that's debatable. I'm not entirely sure personally. So I guess that puts him in B tier just off of that. So he's kind of in the middle. He's like Trapper, but for two different reasons. Um, how he would do in a freak-off, however, is I think he probably enjoy having sex, but obviously not with minors. But he probably enjoy having sex with all the women, all the men. Who cares? Whatever headcanon of yours satisfies you. He'd probably do that for a bit. Have a bit of fun. But it's really hard to go his face. I'm not entirely sure what he'd do. I think he's probably he's so narcissistic that he'd probably be like, holy shit, P. Diddy, just have sex with him. He'd probably do it just so he can get an ego boost, if anything. But, B tier seems fine for me, for him. But I'm not entirely sure. Only. See, he's quite intelligent. He's a master at at wielding a sword, and stuff like that. However, he's kind of just this one angry guy who just likes to just kill farmers. Though, to be fair, it's not like anyone in the Diddy party is going to be a farmer per se, So I think he won't really kill anyone, because he only really targets specific people, and the people at the party probably won't be those people he's hunting down. So I think Oni would go in A tier. A tier because I think he's such a giga chad that I think he'd love to have sex with all the women. He would be the pimp at the party. Whether or not Diddy would like to, whether or not he'd like to have a freak off with Diddy, however, I don't think so. He's probably as straight as a line, if we're being honest. Like, he'd probably say no to Diddy, and he probably wouldn't even be afraid to say no to Diddy. In fact, I think he'd just turn the tables and make it his party. But I don't know. I don't think he'd entirely be interested at the same time, because I think he'd find it quite boring eventually. I don't think he would kill anyone, but he'd probably just like end up being like, yeah, this thing has run its course, I'm just gonna leave, and he would probably just walk away, and then do his own thing, which is killing farmers. But I think the Diddy party could just be his little vacation. In fact, I think he probably, like, the moment he stops the Diddy party and walks away, no, actually just runs away, right, and he just trips over some baby oil. That'd be so funny, because I know that'll piss him off. But I see Oni doing well in the Diddy party. I think it's all gonna be in his favor, but I think he will say no to certain things. It's not like Freddy, where he will just say yes to everything, and just live and breathe the party and the freak-offs. But you'll do good. Deathslinger. He's a smart guy. He's good with, like, engineering. He has a bit of anger issues too, but he's not entirely as bad as Oni's. But whether or not he'd be fine with Diddy, but you see, in the same sense as Oni, where he's like, he's so, like, such a giga chad, that he'd probably love to have sex with women and everything. On the other hand, he's a cowboy in like the Western, Wild West, and the Wild West, the era was just absolutely racist. So I think he wouldn't go to a Diddy party and just spend time with him or whatsoever. I think the moment he sees Diddy, he's just gonna try and kill him because he's black, and people during his time are just very racist, So, I think, I think I think off of that alone, I don't think he'd go in A tier because I don't think he'd wanna engage in any sexual activities with minorities. But I think he would just, he'd go out with the Caucasian white woman, So only B tier, but that's because he does seem like someone who'd probably just have sex just as like a release for him, but I don't think he'd do it. You know, I don't think he'd go out with everyone in the party. Like he's definitely not a pedophile, that's for sure, as well. And I don't think Daxlinger would also be entirely invested in the party either. I mean, because I don't think he would be as engaged as Oni, Clown, or Doctor. Like, I think Oni is just way too egotistical and just so full of himself that he would thrive at the party because he'd just have as much sex with the woman as possible. He'd be a massive pimp, like I said. But I don't see that with Slinger. Like he doesn't seem like someone that would be. He'd just be like, whatever. I'll just have sex with like a few people and just leave, unless he gets drugged, and then Diddy has his way with him. So yeah, it's just it's kind of up in the air. It could go either way. It's either I don't think you know, I don't. He's got particular views that hold him back, and that's what it's gonna be. Yeah. So that's Death Slinger. I think B tier seems alright for him, but I don't know. Now, in lore, him at a Diddy party would make absolutely no sense whatsoever. Like he wouldn't be there. He wouldn't be there at all. Like he doesn't exist to everyone else. If James Sunderland was there, then I think sure. I think he would get extremely freaky to the point that he could probably go up to S tier. But there's some things that just hold him back to the point where he just can't be anywhere higher, I feel. B tier, I think. It's in the middle. There's so many scenarios where he could thrive, but there's also scenarios where he just won't. So I think B tier is fine for him. It's up in the air. Lights now. It's not like Doctor where I think he'd be, he'd have a lot of fun. I don't think he would be entirely interested. He'd be very bored. I think, like, he's such a nerd, I don't think he'd care much about the party. To a bigger extent than, like, Doctor would. His whole thing is just, he loves flowers, he loves making, drugs. Man, not just give me the four. He'd be good. He'd be good at manufacturing like drugs for Diddy, but it would go absolutely horribly wrong because it would just turn everyone into just like bloodthirsty monsters. So, no. I'd say I'd say D tier, honestly. Like, I think he'd be bored. He wouldn't be interested, and he'd probably have a few drinks when he gets to the party, and then just like leave immediately, like just to do his own thing. Also, he strikes me as just someone who's just a complete virgin anyway. Just incel loser, just locked in his own like fucking cave to rot. So it's just kind of, you know, I don't see him doing well. And the same could be said for twins. I don't think they even know what sex is either. And Charlotte is like so protective of Victor I think being at a Diddy party especially would not be a good place for them whatsoever, because you know Diddy is gonna go straight for Victor and do some horrible things to him. So you know, first of all, at the moment we realize that you know the freak-offs are occurring, if they're even conscious at the time, I think they're just gonna run away as fast as they could, or try to kill him, or at least try to kill Diddy, or does anyone there really, out of like, you know, self-defense, you know. I don't think most of the time you won't even know what's going on either, which is the sad part for them. So I think they're just gonna be left incredibly vulnerable, and they'll just have no defense mechanism there. I suppose you could say that, like, you know, I suppose you could move them up to like C tier, in that, like, you know, there's the chance that they could just like kill everyone there, thinking that they're all just like, knowing that they're all just like very traumatized, and that they just think that everyone that they consider outsiders are a threat to their livelihoods. But I don't know. There's also the chance that like Charlotte will probably see the party as like a place of refuge, knowing that no one else in the party probably care to know that their lives are just full of just endangerment. So, you know, they probably think it's like, you know, a place of refuge, only for it to just turn sinister once it hits 1 a.m. Where Diddy is just going to take advantage of them, and they're just screwed in that moment. So, you know, D tier. Now, Trickster, I think, would be the most interesting character to talk about, because, you know, he's a celebrity, and, and an artist like Diddy is. So would he go to a party? If he were to hypothetically go to one, absolutely he would. I mean, Diddy party has like so many of these rappers, musicians, actors, or just even politicians, you know. All these well-known public figures. I think Trickster would want to be among those people. To the point where he would just 100%, he certainly just would go to a Diddy party, without doubt, and probably just like have, you know, he would have his fun there, you know, have the drinks, but you know, he's a twink. I think once he gets there, um, you know, everyone's gonna be eyeing him because he's hot and attractive. But the issue now is that I don't think he's as freaky as Diddy is, and I think once the freak offs occur, I think he'd probably play along for a bit, you know, have sex, if he's even interested, because, you know, K-pop singers are like really soft. I mean, I won't say, I don't know, I don't really know. I just know, I don't know. I mean, the things that K-pop artists go through is a bit nasty, you know. But it's nothing like a Diddy party now. You know, they're not like, it's not like they're being, I mean, they are being basically like, tortured in a way, but a Diddy party, man, that shit's on another level. So Trickster this is probably gonna be the most traumatizing experience for him ever once he realizes what he's getting himself into. But him at the party can go two ways. It's either, you know, you see that like Trickster is gonna go into this with the mindset that eventually, he's gonna lure Diddy, and then try to, torture him for his screams to be used in his music, or it's gonna be the bad outcome for Trickster, where he's gonna be drugged, and then his booty is about to be turned into, his cheeks are about to get drilled, just like how Diddy turned Meek Mill into cheek drills. So, it can go either way with Trickster. Or, there's a third option for him, and that is that he and Diddy go hand in hand. They have fun. They collaborate, even. Not just, writing music as well. Not just writing music, but also just, playing a part in a party. So, I think, Trickster, he could do good, but he could also not do good. So I think he's kind of in the middle, I feel. B tier seems fine for me, because it's like, there's three ways this can go down for Trickster. It's either he thrives, or he doesn't. There's two ways he will thrive, but one way he will not. So, B. It's very debatable. It's very debatable with Trickster. Now, next up is Nemesis. See, you could say that he'd be like C tier, because his whole thing is just killing people. But the thing is like, he's programmed to target specifically STARS members, and just people who get in the way of his mission. You won't see any STARS members in the Diddy party, I don't think. They're probably too busy doing their thing, they're doing their missions and shit. So, I think Nemesis would go in D tier, and so he'd probably remain completely immobile. And besides, I don't think anyone would want to have sex with him anyway. He's just completely ugly. So, he would fail just by existing. Like, he's just physically not built for a Diddy party whatsoever. So he fails right off the bat, and there's nothing he can do, because he's just not programmed to, have sex. I don't think he even has a cock. Unless you count the tentacles as cock, but we'll not get into that shit. I mean, it would be quite kinky for the party, but, it's not like anyone's gonna wanna... It's not like anyone would want that in their ass. Especially if it's coming from someone like him. So, yeah. He fails. D tier. Now... Oh boy, Pinhead. Pinhead would do really, really good in the Diddy party. Like, sexual pleasures are literally his thing. He's a Cenobite. He's got the BDSM wear and everything. But, see, Cenobites are way more ambitious than Diddy ever will be, because they're not just, like, very, kinky, but they're turning pain and kink as one and the same. Pain and pleasure. Indivisible. And so, I think the thing that will keep him from S tier, however, is the fact that they're just that Pinhead is just not going to care about the traditional ways of sex. He's just gonna go with his own, his own thing, But I think if he were to be at a Diddy party, he would absolutely dominate, because, once Diddy solves that puzzle box, he's gonna know Diddy's, pleasures and what he wants, and he's gonna probably either roll into somebody. And then I think at that point, the moment Pinhead steps foot into a Diddy party, it's not gonna be a Diddy party anymore. It's just gonna be a Pinhead party, and he's gonna be the one. He's gonna be the one doing all the freak offs in his own sick and twisted way, and it's gonna be a completely new. It's gonna be completely unique, and no one knows what they're gonna get themselves into once Pinhead is there. But Pinhead knows. Would he do did he freak off? Yes, but I don't think he would have sex with children. Nor would I think he would have sex in a traditional way. So I think that is what holds him back from being S tier. So, Pinhead, I think otherwise he would do good. In his own way. Now we got Artist. She's just kind of this bird lady, an artist. very tragic. Sh she's D tier because she just does not strike me as the kind of person that would do well. She's a very, she's a very vulnerable woman. And if anything, she's the kind of person that Diddy's just going to take advantage of. Also, I don't think having sex with her would be efficient anyway, given that she doesn't really have any. Her arms are just basically ink. So, yeah, I don't think anyone would find that interesting. I don't think anyone would want to get covered in ink. They would be getting covered in cum, if anything. So, no. Would she do good? No. She's gonna get taken advantage of. Sadako as well, except, I think Sadako would do better at Diddy Freak Off because, well, she's going to kill everyone, really. In fact, I don't think she'd be a freak off at all. Diddy's just gonna. It would have to require Diddy or anyone at the party being struck with a curse. Actually, now I think about it, I put her in D tier because she just wouldn't be at the party whatsoever. And the moment she's at the party, she's just gonna be there to claim someone's life and then just immediately vanish. I think that's how it will go. So, she's immediately disqualified. Right off the bat. And now we have Albert Wesker, who I think would go in A tier. For the same reasons as Doctor, I feel. He'd do well. I'm sure he's canonically had sex as well. Anyway, he has. Never mind. I don't know what that noise was. He's canonically had sex before. So this isn't completely abnormal for him. He has a son in Resident Evil 6. A son that he completely left for the milk. But nonetheless, he has a son. But I think why Wesker is going to thrive in this is for the same reason as Doctor. But I think eventually he'd probably get bored, and then move on to his experiments. But I think he would do slightly better than Doctor, just because he's canonically had sex. But what I've said about Doctor, it just applies to Wesker really. It's gonna be the same thing, I feel. Now we got Knight, who thing about Knight, he's gonna bring his guards and everything, and whether they'll engage in sexual activities, we don't know, because we don't know anything about the guards. They're just one-dimensional. But as for Knight himself, I think he's just, I think he's just too barbaric and murderous to the point where he's just gonna kill everyone on the spot. And besides, he's a medieval knight. They don't wash their hands. They're all dirty. They don't shower. I don't think anyone would want to have sex with him. They'd probably ask him to take a shower first, and then he could have his way. Which, in that sense, he'd probably go about like A tier. But hypothetically speaking, if we're to treat Knight as he is, he'd probably walk in. He'd probably want to go to the party and have sex because he'd probably be interested in that, in my opinion. But once everyone just calls him out for being smelly and just gross, he's just gonna kill everyone, I think. I don't think Diddy would even want to have sex with him either, so that holds him back. So, but he's just gonna kill everyone anyway, so it's not like it's exactly gonna matter. So, C tier. The same could be said for the gods too. They'll just probably help him out in killing everyone. But yeah, Skull Merchant. God, disgusting ass killer. She goes in D tier. Because fuck her existence, and she does not belong in this game. But if we put that aside, how would she do in a Diddy Freak Off? Absolutely awful. Because she's just she strikes me as the kind of person who's just like a cringy ass like TikTok fucking influencer who's just like she know about Diddy, but she's got like a very flawed knowledge of Diddy, like, and she probably even glorifies him even like most of those brain dead Gen Z idiots do anyway. If we're being real, there's a lot of people like that. The amount of times they get risked up by serial killers, but you know, Skull Mushroom would come in. You know, she probably knows what she's doing there, but she's probably gonna be like completely trying to rizz up Diddy, and that's gonna get her in danger. And she will get in danger. She's gonna be screwed over. Though, to be fair, she is quite jealous of like rich people, and Diddy is fairly rich, and she'll probably try to kill him. But it mostly depends, because you know, I feel like it's either she probably idolizes him, because I imagine she would, or she just tries to kill him, which in that sense she goes C tier, but I think she's D tier, because I think she'd want to get that massive ego boost of being with P. Diddy. But, you know, since she's like a complete virgin idiot, I think she just get herself like drugs and just raped, so yeah. Now we got Chucky. I'm sure he's like would be interested in having sex and things, you know. Except, you know, he's had sex before, but with a doll, so it's not exactly efficient with his doll body. I don't think anyone would want to have sex with him. I think Diddy, however, would probably could potentially assume he's like a child and be interested in that way, but no. I think because of the fact he's a doll, he would not do well. So, I mean, although he does strike me as the kind of person who would just want to have fun for a bit before just eventually killing people, because he loves to kill people. So, you know, but you know, I think he'd be interested with the activities that occur in the Diddy party, but I don't think he'd do well necessarily, because well, he just doesn't have the right body for it. So I think C tier, because he probably just end up killing people once he just gets denied of any form of sex. So that's that. Now we got Vecna. Would he do good at a Diddy party? Well, first of all, no one would want to have sex with him. He's literally a rotting corpse. Second of all, I mean, he has so much power. He's really powerful. I don't think, you know, he's literally a god. I don't think he'd exactly be interested in a Diddy party. He probably thinks it's just a load of malarkey, you know. He wouldn't care whatsoever. I mean, if he were to go to a Diddy party, I think he'd absolutely dominate, but not in the sense that he'd, you know, participate in freak-offs or anything. I think he'd just, like, kill everyone, or just enslave them. There's multiple things he could do at a Diddy party that is just completely in his favor. But I just don't imagine him caring, you know? And I think the same could also be said for Dracula. Like, it's like, you know, they're both D tier, not because they will suck at a Diddy party. Not that they would, you know, be taken advantage of immediately and easily. But just because, like, you know, they just wouldn't care. They're too higher up for that, you know? They could do whatever they want to Diddy if they even had the chance. They can enslave him, they can kill him, they can do so much things to him. And so, you know, again, they're just like the two gods. They don't care. They won't care. So the D tier, because they just won't attend whatsoever, they won't care, they're just gonna go off doing their own thing. Dracula is probably just gonna be in his castle, drinking his wine, being harassed by Belmonts. Poor guy. Vecna, he's okay, but, you know. So yeah, that's it. This is probably the most defining tier list of all time. I've done it. Someone had to do it, and you know, if no one else is gonna do it, I had to do it eventually. So yeah, this is it. what killers would survive the Diddy freak off. I think that Freddy would absolutely dominate. And I think a lot of these killers, I think a lot of killers won't really do well necessarily. I think some of them, it kind of depends on the circumstances. But some are just, some are more straightforward than others, some more complicated than others, Then there's just the C tier where it's just killers who just wouldn't give a shit and just would go just for the sole reason of just murdering everyone. But then there's the D tier where some would just don't care to the point they just won't tend whatsoever, or they just they're too stupid to get themselves in danger, or they're just going to be naturally in danger anyway. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for wasting an hour of your life. Appreciate it. Thank you.